we're shooting. I was gonna say we're live, but we're not.
And we're live.
And we're alive. 3, 2, 1, go. You know, I was smiling earlier because we're already chatting. It's like if we had a hidden camera, it would have already been like a start of a show.
Right.
I was thinking, like, I couldn't sleep last night because I was
Right.
thinking shot list of how to make cool looking coffee making shots.
Yeah, like a
But-
product shoot almost.
Yeah, product shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know what inspired this? You guys know Hot Ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So Hot Ones, I loved because I'm into hot food,
Right.
spicy stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Hungarian. We have a lot of spicy
Yeah,
food
absolutely.
and stuff like that. And I'm like, what a cool way to engage with people. Like you have different levels, spices and stuff like that. I love coffee. I love coffee making. What if I
Absolutely.
make something that's kind of like that, but
Right.
with coffee?
Right. Well, they say like food, sports, and music. I think are what everyone shares in
Everyone
common, right? So
connects
having like that common ground, whether it's
Yeah.
food like coffee or music or sports, is always like it makes the conversation easier to
And
start.
everybody loves coffee.
Everyone loves
Yeah.
coffee.
And I thought caffeinated creatives,
Yeah.
you know, like
yeah.
in this industry, like everybody's running on freaking fumes,
Right. Oh,
yeah,
drinking
everyone's got-
coffee.
No, it's a
Some
good
kind of
idea.
stimulants in their body at all times.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, that might be a cool name, you know.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Blank Street Coffee?
Blank Street Coffee.
So it's a company they started in New York, I believe. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure New York. And the whole idea behind their company is like an automated coffee shop. So you walk in, there's no employees, and you know what I'm saying. It's all computerized, and they have like it's very simple. They have like one coffee flavor. So it's
Whoa,
like it's the idea of
interesting.
like very overly commercializing coffee. If that makes sense.
Oh,
There,
wow.
there's a difference between commercial coffee and third wave coffee.
Yeah. What is third wave coffee? I don't know if
Third
I've heard of
wave
that.
is there are different waves and has to do with like how it's roasted,
Oh, I
what's
see,
the
yeah.
origin. Because like even if you look at the roasting profiles, I don't know if you guys know roasting profiles. There's like
No.
light,
No clue.
medium, and dark. That's what everybody knows. But then in the commercial, in the like the non-commercial way, there's like people check the weight and the
Right.
color of it. There's like a thing. And that was a sound. They do like a color test
Right.
to like check how much weight the beans lost to determine
Yeah.
like.
So it's a whole science. The same way like with wine,
it's
right?
It's a freaking
Sommeliers.
science, man.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's amazing.
I mean, if it sucks, you can let me know.
No, I just took my first sip.
Did you
I
take
I
a
love
sip?
haven't taken a sip.
Okay,
no.
let's all
do
take
it.
a sip.
Let's do it. Cheers,
I heard
guys.
it.
Cheers.
I'll pretend this one's first.
Tastes very well crafted.
Ah,
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I don't know what you think, but
tastes
Oh, it's good.
Tastes homemade.
It is good. I don't know the words. Like I don't know too much about coffee, so I don't know what to say other than it's good. You know.
Other than it tastes good.
I think the tasting of coffee is called cupping, but don't quote me on that. There's ways where before I poured the milk in, when it's just the straight shot, you mix it and you do, and you smell it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The
And
same
you
way you
go-
would with wine, right?
Yeah, it's similar.
Or-
I'm not an expert yet, but
Yeah.
I know a lot. But
Right.
that's something I really want to get.
Do people like? Do they test the viscosity of coffee? You know how like when they call it legs on wine, so you spin wine and at the rate that it comes down determines. I don't know if it tells you how old it is or a certain thing about
What
it.
is viscosity?
Viscosity is the I don't know the exact terminology, but essentially like how dense a fluid is, meaning does it move quickly. So like if I were to pour water on a metal sheet, it would go faster than if I poured jelly, for example.
Oh,
know?
I think it depends on the preparation. So espresso, you know how people call beans sometimes espresso
Mm-hmm.
bean, but espresso is a preparation type. Like there's so many ways
I
of
didn't know that.
preparing coffee.
Yeah.
There's like the pour over, V60, whatever. There's the Vietnamese one where it's kind of like a pour over. You put the coffee and you lock
Yeah.
it in, and it takes like there are different phases, like
Right.
blooming, whatever.
Right.
But espresso is just a preparation type, and it's short, high pressure, and depending on the bean, depending on the roaster, there are different recipes.
Right.
The recipes has to do with like how many grams of coffee beans you put in it,
Uh-huh.
how many seconds does it take to yield a certain ratio.
Right.
And
That's
that
the whole
is
science.
huge, man. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're in Italy, you have different ratios.
Uh-huh.
If you're in South America,
Yeah.
you have different ratios. And
What do you know? What determines those ratios?
it's like 1:2 ratio. So like I make a 1:2 ratio, which is if I use 22 grams of beans,
Yeah.
then I get 44 grams.
Gotcha.
Oh, is that math correct?
Yes.
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 So that's a 1:2, but
Yeah.
there's like a longo. There's a that's which is a longer shot. That's
Right.
I think a 1:3.
Yeah.
So one part bean, 3 part like soluble water.
Gotcha,
You
okay.
know, like water comes out
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
beans, and ristretto, which means restricted, which is a 1 to 1.5. It's kind of the same grammage, and you check the gram all the time. Like
Right.
if you're a fanatic of coffee, you check the gram going in and out. It's like a whole freaking
Yeah.
thing.
So, what do the different ratios do to the taste?
Ooh, so one of the things I just learned, which is kind of interesting, I don't think anybody will do that, but Crazy Fanatics, it's a way to, you have 3 small cups, and you make espresso every like 5 to 10 seconds, you put a new cup in.
Wow.
So each one of them will show a different profile of the coffee, and you taste and you see when in the cooking comes what note, which is kind of interesting.
Gotcha. So, as a coffee expert, do you have a favorite
Oh,
coffee
expert.
shop here in Nashville?
Expert, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I don't
it's
know if I call
relative compared
myself
to us.
expert, but
Is there a shop that you think does a really good job?
you know I love Red Bicycle.
Which
I've
one?
heard of it.
Oh man, you go on Charlotte and you turn 51st Avenue, I think.
Ooh, yes.
That's
I
a
used to
good
live
one.
over in the Nations.
Yes,
Yes,
the Nations
yes.
and the one on Nolansville. I used to live by Nolansville.
So I live in Germantown, and there's one in Germantown.
Mhm.
I go there all the time. They know my name. Like, they know me by name. They know my
a
order.
regular.
I love that spot. Yeah.
What do you get there?
I get the vanilla. No, it's the French toast latte is usually what I get. It's
Oh.
amazing.
So
Cool.
we just got an office downtown a couple weeks back, and right next door is a Frothy Monkey, and I've been there maybe 6 times in 8 days or
I
so.
was there this morning.
Yeah, I was there today as well. Not a fan?
Oh no, I am. I'm saying that I used to spend so much money on coffee.
Yeah.
And when I looked at my, my tax papers,
Right.
write off because
Yeah. Coffee
go in
meetings.
and work,
Yeah.
buy coffee, and look at okay, I guess I can write off.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, holy crap! I spent like I don't know, $800 on coffee
Jesus.
that year. I'm like,
That's crazy.
so I'm like, I want to learn how to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Save you some
way
money.
cheaper
Yep.
on the long run.
Right.
And also, like, making the beans yourself, it's also way cheaper.
Yeah.
Getting good quality beans, at least
You said single origin, right?
single origin. You
Yeah.
can have blends and stuff like that, but I love, like, Ethiopian. That's my favorite
Yeah.
because of the fruity, dark chocolatey kind of notes. But
He's actually my roommate and a good friend of mine, Scott, is very adamant about single origin coffee. He preaches it.
why?
I have no idea. I've never questioned it. That's the one we buy for the house.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so many ways to prepare it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to prepare it. Sorry, so many ways that it's harvested.
Yeah.
Even the harvesting process can determine how to prepare it, or what's the best way to prepare it.
Right.
Because it's great. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
you
yeah.
know.
So my older brother, he lives in Vietnam, and
Vietnam.
Yes, he claims Vietnamese coffee is way
It's
stronger
so
than
good.
American coffee. Is that true?
Yes.
At
At least the one that's commercially sold in America.
are you talking about the red one? I forgot the name of the brand, but I used to buy ground coffee and make it Vietnamese way. It's really strong because it takes a long time to make it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it is a good coffee. I
Yes.
liked it. Vietnam. Have you been to Vietnam?
No, I'm actually going in June for the
No
first
way.
time. I'm gonna go visit
That's
him.
gonna be so
and
crazy.
I'm so excited.
How old is your brother?
He's 28 now.
28.
Yeah,
Vietnam is wild.
so excited, and I'm definitely gonna try the coffee.
Ooh, man. What I love about traveling is freaking food, sightseeing, and all,
Right,
and
for
the
sure.
culture,
Yeah,
bringing
absolutely.
back spices. 'Cause
Yeah,
you can't
right.
buy that stuff here.
And it's gonna be my first time leaving the U.S. too. So like
Whoa.
going to
Wow.
Southeast Asia, just complete culture
Are
shock
you
when I
gonna-
get there.
Are you gonna like hop around after Vietnam?
Yeah, so I'm going for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I might, everything in Asia is really close to each other.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I might go to like Thailand, Japan,
Yeah.
all those
That's gonna be
countries
so
down
cool.
there for maybe like a week or so.
That's gonna be so cool. I lived in Spain for like 4 months, and you kind of just hit it on the head right there. Like, what's great about Europe is they travel from country to country the way we travel from state to state, with the same accessibility. Meaning, like, it's easy, right? Like, for us to go to a new country, we either have to go to Mexico or Canada, or we're crossing a country. Where in Europe you can go.
Oh yeah.
I mean, crossing an ocean, but in Europe you can drive to Italy from Spain or France from, Germany, whatever the case may be.
It's the same in Southeast Asia too. Like all those countries down there are so close. And my brother, he's been to Japan, he's been to Thailand, he's been to Singapore. He's gone all over down there. So definitely gonna try to hit a few if I can.
What are you mostly looking forward to do?
Honestly, I really am excited for the food. I love trying new foods and experiencing other cultures' foods. And going there and experiencing Vietnamese food in Vietnam is it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Nice, awesome.
Have you traveled a lot?
I try every couple of years to go back to Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
I was born here in the States. My dad was in the army. Both my parents are Hungarian, but my dad was in the U.S. Army. He has a crazy story. He was in Hungary. He traveled like hundreds of miles to go get out of that way of living. He messaged his uncle. His uncle was already in the army in the States. He helped him. He has a crazy story.
Wow.
He needs to write a book about it. He actually told me he needs some help about that. But he was in the army for 20 years. Came back to Hungary. Went back to Hungary. Met my mom, and a couple weeks later, you want to come with me? And they came, got married, and then I was born here in the States.
Did you live in Hungary for a little bit?
I did, yes. So I was born here, and when I was 7, we moved to Hungary, and I had to learn Hungarian very fast.
At that age, though, your brain's like a sponge, right? Like
but I had culture shock. The whole thing
Mm-hmm.
is just a whole different living, whole different you gotta learn airways.
Right.
I don't know, like a better way of saying it,
Yeah.
but I forgot English totally. That's why I had to.
Oh, wow.
Weirdly, English is my first language, but I still have an accent.
Yeah. Do you speak Hungarian
I
fluently?
do, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Beszélek magyarul.
Yeah, me too.
my little brother's girlfriend is Hungarian. She moved here when she was in her childhood at some point. So she's from Hungary as well.
Did you tell me when I met you? Did you tell me that when I met you?
I did not. No, I didn't know you were Hungarian until right now. I don't think you told me that.
Jeez.
Right now. But my little brother, he's been dating her for about a year or so, and she's from Hungary.
But
too.
I remember the first thing you told me because when we met, because I saw somebody who looked like an actor. And you said that you look like another actor.
Matt Damon.
And now
like
I
Matt
cannot,
Damon.
for God's sake,
That's
take that out
crazy.
of
You
my
do look like
head.
Matt
I did
Damon.
Matt Damon like young Matt Damon when he was in Good Will Hunting.
I saw that movie 2 nights ago. So good.
All the time.
Such a good movie.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, when I was in college, and we can kind of get into this later, but the first entrepreneurial thing I ever did was I was in college during the NFT era where those were popping and were a very big deal.
Dang.
So I launched my own project, and we got a sponsorship program with water.org, which is actually Matt Damon's nonprofit. And they do safe water access in I think 11 countries at the time, probably more now. And so we basically essentially pledged a percentage of profits to them, and then they did some marketing for us. But it was cool to work, I guess, with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
To a
Now
certain
you're working
extent.
with him again.
Yeah. Now I'm working with Matthew Damon.
Yeah. I've always been kind of like a guy who's very face person, and I always can tell if somebody looks like somebody. I tell people that's kind of like my thing. You look like that. You look like that. But I don't say it to hurt anybody. It's just I think it's kind of fun.
Who do I look like?
I don't have anything.
No.
You look like you.
I look like me.
You look like Andrew Sevilla.
Yeah. I've gotten.
But I love that name, Ander.
Thank you. Ander.
That's a freaking cool name.
Yeah, so my little brother's name is Ziggy, and my sister's name is Silme, and
No way.
yeah. Do you cuss on this podcast or no?
Honestly, I have not thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do cuss.
Yeah.
Depending on my mood.
Yeah.
So I can, I guess, bleep it out, but
My
I
parents,
don't know.
well, I was just saying, my parents were just making shit up when they were naming us. For my name, they wanted to go with Andrew, but my dad wanted it to be a more unique or obsolete name. So I don't know exactly how they got Andrew, but I know for my sister Silme, they went letter by letter. So my dad said S, my mom said I, he said L, she said M, he said E, she said Y, and they landed on Silme. And then Ziggy, my little brother, his real name is Zegor, Zegor, but he goes by Ziggy.
Wow.
At least for now. But I told him like Ziggy's cool. And then once he hits 30, he needs to switch it to Zigor.
Yeah.
Because Ziggy's still like a cute little
Zigor,
name.
that's cool.
It's like a younger nickname.
Yeah, I think Zigor's a little bit more powerful.
Yeah.
You know?
Huh.
Zigor, that's just has like an essence to it.
Yeah, it carries weight.
Ziggy and Igor.
Yeah, exactly.
Zigor.
Exactly. Well, Ziggy, I think that name existed. I think that's Bob Marley's kid's name, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh.
Ziggy Marley, I think.
There's a kid in my high school. His last name was Ziegler. We called him Ziggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like you're into music. I think David Bowie has a song called Ziggy Stardust.
I have
I
a
think
funny.
I think that's like a stage name of his, actually.
Oh, is it?
It might be. I think it is.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I know the name already existed, but I don't. And there's actually an Ander Sevillano. And if you're watching this, what's up, man? He lives in Spain. We've never met, but we're the same age and we have the same name, and we follow each other on Instagram.
Wow.
And we're like friends from afar.
I have
Just
a,
because we share a name.
How'd you find him? Did you search your own name on Instagram?
When I was in college, I made a group chat of everyone that had my name. I'm like, "Hello, gentlemen. I bet you're wondering why I've gathered you all here today." And he's the only one that responded and like was a friend about it.
That's funny.
you mentioned David Bowie. I have a
Yeah.
funny story about David Bowie.
Yeah,
I played with his drummer.
that is wild.
Oh wow.
Yeah, his last record, the Black Star. Have you all heard it?
Mm-mm.
It's crazy. It's super artistic, super. The drumming and everything is kind of like this jazz fusion mixed with pop and stuff. He hired this drummer called Mark Juliana, who is from New York, and he does this beat music,
Yeah.
like crazy technical stuff. And when I studied microtonal music, the fretless guitar,
Yeah.
my professor, he would invite guest artists to come and perform with the students. So we had 2 concerts with him.
Wow,
And
that's crazy.
It was mental.
So you studied music, yeah? Is there like for me, I grew up in basketball. It was my life for a very long time.
Basketball?
Basketball, yeah. Still
Damn.
love it. And like my friends and I, we always have like the GOAT discussion, like the GOAT, the acronym for greatest of all time.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Do you have like a top 5? And as objective as possible.
Ooh.
Obviously, music is subjective to an extent, but is there like a 5 that you can point at and say these were the most? Let's not even say best. Say influential. Let's say influential.
Ooh, man.
I'm not a musician,
That's
but I
huge.
know some things. So
I definitely have. So I'm a big rocker. Like I started with AC/DC. I had the whole Gibson SG.
yeah,
I dressed like Angus Young. I listened to him a lot. But then I got into jazz, bebop, and fusion.
yeah,
And there I was listening to a lot of fusion cats like Mike Stern or John Scofield, and they had their own like signature sounds. And I had a teacher, David Fuzinski. He's very well known in the Boston area and in Mexico with his band. He mixes like jazz fusion with like cultural music, microtonal music. He's one of the most unique guitar players that you can meet. I knew him before I studied at Berkeley.
in
Berkeley
California.
College
In
of
Boston.
Music in Boston.
Yeah.
And he was my mentor there for the whole time.
That's like the best music school in the world, right? Or it's one of the most renowned.
One of the most.
It is, yeah.
That's a big
It
accomplishment.
was
Congrats.
crazy. I loved going there.
Yeah.
I was trying to be everywhere.
Yeah.
It was difficult because you're trying to be a good student, but also my teacher told me that your peers are the most important people. Like you're gonna learn a lot from them. They're gonna be your future business partners,
say,
people
100%
who
agree.
hire you. Like the whole thing depends on how well you can be connected and genuinely.
Right.
And because you can't like force business, you can't force these things, but it has to you have to find the right people.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
What's that cliche? It's like your network is your net worth. Like
I've heard of that.
I highly believe that. Yeah.
And one of the things I love when we met is you're so happy and so positive.
Jeremy?
That's
Jeremy.
That's what I
And
try
I'm
to
like-
be, you know.
That's amazing.
How could you not be happy when you look like Matt Damon?
Yeah,
right?
honestly, right? Like, I look like a celebrity. I can't complain. But yeah, I kind of just try to embody just positivity. I really don't see any reason for negativity. Like, that's one of the things I like about myself is I try to just be positive all the time.
Yeah,
I've never seen Jeremy upset.
Dang.
Never. Like we work together now, and it's a lot of like high pressure situations. We joke about it all the time that it's better for like I get like frustrated and I have a hard time biting my tongue, but Jeremy's much more like well tempered.
Yeah, so he's like here, and then I'll be like, All right, let's think of it like let's calm down a little bit.
Yeah. What is how did you meet?
So we met at a networking event here in Nashville. It's called Network Under 40, if you've heard of it.
No.
They actually don't exist anymore.
I'm under 40.
Yeah.
So the Network Under 40, they don't exist anymore, but that's how we met. We were talking. He's like, oh, I run this marketing company. We do digital marketing. And I was like, no way. I run an advertising agency. And we just talked from there.
Huh. Yeah. And we started working together. We came, we realized there's a few things we share in common. One is we have like a disconnect with traditional marketing. And what I mean by that is that we know that the marketing industry is very saturated and inflated.
How so?
Yeah, so a few examples. One is they overcharge because it's monopolized. So essentially, and the reason they're able to overcharge is because they have unnecessary infrastructure in their model. So they have people on salary that are doing a minimum amount of work. And for us, we don't have, everyone at our firm has a purpose. And they get paid when they do that purpose. They don't get paid to sit around, including ourselves, right? Like we don't collect money unless we contribute. And another thing we do separately is our background, at least mine and Jeremy's to an extent as well, is in technology. And so being able to use AI on the back end of a lot of our processes, we save a ton of overhead costs and are able to deliver, results without human mistakes or interference.
I think using AI or implementing that is a smart thing. A lot of people are afraid of it, but it's a tool, just like anything else.
Exactly.
If you can concentrate on making higher end things and the lower tier things could be replaced.
Yeah.
Similar things happened in the music industry too,
right.
like Pond 5. Like there are these stock places where you can get music and stuff like that. Like you pay, I don't know, like $20 or
like
a very simple per song or something like that. But what they did, to my knowledge, they let AI study these instrumentals, and then the people can type in.
Make a certain type of song.
And like make this and this. It sounds like this. Now,
like text to music or text to sound.
One of my source of income was, at least, I mean, I still do it, but it's writing production music, which is like
stock music?
Stock music.
Okay.
But what you get money from is either you sign a deal where you're hired to write like an X amount of songs and X amount of style, and you get upfront fee, and then you just get royalties. And there's other type where you write these songs, and then you get a synchronization fee, and then there's a master fee to use the song itself, and then you get royalties. So there are a lot of different deals. But I see with the AI and all this stuff, slowly, that lower tier kind of the cheaper products will kind of go away and be taken over by AI, maybe, which would elevate maybe the higher end tiers, because customization is still up to the up to the professionals.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Is like with AI, at least right now, and it's only gonna get better. But right now, you can kind of tell when it's been made by AI versus when it's been made by a human.
For sure.
And I think that's going to be the real differentiator is, AI is going to be used, but I personally think that the human-made stuff is going to be more valuable because you can really tell the difference.
Of course. Well, like I said, we use AI with certain processes, but nothing we put out doesn't go through human interaction first. Like, we don't rely on AI. We use it as a tool. Like you said, it doesn't use us. We use it. And the big thing is honestly, it's helping like companies with smaller budgets get off the ground, and like we know our services work. So oftentimes we'll take revenue share deals with zero upfront, and then so we make money when our clients make money, and that carries a lot of weight here in a city like Nashville.
That does, because they definitely want to see results. Right. I've worked with because I do content, but I know marketing is an incredibly important thing.
Right,
like artists. They are mini businesses, and content is one side of the equation, but marketing is this. Like you can have a good song and no marketing and go nowhere, and a not so good song with a lot of marketing budget go somewhere.
Absolutely.
Right? And we were talking about this the other day at the music therapy, and I was like, you can have the best song and the highest production music video in the world, but if you're not putting it in front of the right people in the right way, it's gonna go nowhere.
I think another like misconception with marketing is that I think people tend to see it as an art when it's really more of a science. Like there's definite objective things that you can do to generate traffic, and so that's why people have a hard time believing marketing companies, because they think it's a subjective approach where it's like we have access to back end algorithms. It's not we're not making this up. Like we know we can see what's working and be able to implement that for our clients.
Right. Interesting. So you all know what sort of content would get more traction, and then possibly, hey, why don't you do something like this? Because we can possibly do this result if you do that.
Right. Yeah, well, we can track the results. So we can see like the actual data behind these platforms and tell you what's trending right now, what's not. And even for different services, like that's just for content, right? But even with targeted ads and even like websites that convert traffic better, like it's really more of a science.
Yeah. The great thing about today's age of marketing, like digital marketing, every single thing can be tracked. So you can see how long people watch your videos on social media. You can see if somebody watched a video from social media and then went to your website and bought a product, and how many products for how much. Like with the right tracking codes, you can track everything on from social media to ads to websites to all of it. You can see what everybody's doing, which allows you to get really, really granular and dive into the data and be like, okay, I know exactly what I need to do in order to push a song or sell a product or get people to sign up for a newsletter or some kind of coaching program, whatever it is. Like,
wow,
with all of the right tracking tools that we know how to use and leverage, you can really see profits if you do it correctly.
That is mental.
It's awesome.
That is
to the point, and that's why we do the revenue share deals, because we know it works. So we know we're going to generate you money, and we're almost taking like a non-binding ownership stake in your company with the rev share, right? Because we get, let's say, a 10% profit, right? Every dollar you earn, we keep 10 cents, and we know we're going to bring dollars to your money, but now we don't have to take care of the work. Right, so like let's say a client is a roofer, right? Or let's say they're a plumber. We don't have to go actually do the work. We're just generating money for them and then taking a cut. So the way we see it is like it's a scalable approach, and it makes it easier for us to diversify our stream of income. Like plumbing's always going to be a thing, right? People will always need roofs. Pavement restoration will always get, especially here in Nashville. You see the streets are breaking every 2 weeks.
Yes.
So yeah, like we're able to drive tremendous amount of traffic to these blue collar companies, or any company in fact, but. I think we've seen the greatest results with like service-based companies right now.
I personally have seen fantastic results with service-based businesses specifically. Really could use digital marketing, because a lot of these service-based businesses, the business owners maybe, and no offense to them, they're less educated on how technology works, just because they're experts in their field. They're not experts in technology, so they have no idea how any of it works, which is why they really, really need what we offer.
And the other way around, right? Like they have their own expertise that we can't do.
I couldn't do plumbing, I couldn't do roofing, but I'm an expert in advertising, so it's very, very great mutual relationship.
It's really more of a partnership than like a service of ours. You know what I mean? Like it's like even with our clients, something we do that other marketing companies don't do. A few like differentiating factors. One is we don't force people into contracts. Meaning like when they sign with other companies, they're locked in for a year. And 6 months in, if you don't like your results, you still have to pay X amount of dollars a month.
Yeah, because they say that, we can only look at how your success is gonna be if you sign for a year. I do wedding videography. That's my other side thing. Yeah. And I had not an interview, but like a chat with Wedding Wire, and they wanted me to pay like first like $500 a month, and I'm like, okay, but what kind? And they're like, oh, how much do you want to make?
Right.
Like, they give me like these like imaginary things. Right. I mean, I don't know, and they're like, well, you have to sign for a year. And pay.
All right.
And then when I said no like 4 times, like, okay, we can do maybe $200 a month.
Right. And honestly, that is true to an extent. Like these services aren't overnight. Some of them take months, and but a year is not necessarily true either.
And what are you looking like? How can the person know that it's going to be a good investment?
Yeah. So the big thing is we have results. Like we've been at this for a while. We have clients. We have case studies that show numerical data as to how much business we've generated for different clients. So that's the key one. Another thing that we have access to is we can tell you what your competitor's doing and how it's working for them. So let's say you own a barbershop and the next door has a barbershop and he has more clients than you. We can show you exactly why, and then replicate that. Or
how will that work for? Sorry to interrupt. How will that work for artists, or like? For instance, for me, I do music video production, but I also have another company where I do wedding videography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I guess like before I answer that too is like something that, and going back to why we're different than other companies, is we don't give you an answer until we have one. So we do a full audit of your entire industry. So we don't take a deal unless we know we can perform in it. Because at this age, what matters to us more than profit now is our reputation. You know, I'm 25, he's 26. We're gonna be here for a long time. We can't afford bad reviews. And so we know how to find the answer, and I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but our people do an entire audit of the exact product or service you're trying to sell, and then we come back to you with like an action plan of this is how we're going to generate traffic for you.
I'm interested. You do market research on this area.
Every time.
Let's say I'm going to put myself in the example.
Right.
You see who else does this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you see? Like okay, Danny does it differently. So have you heard of blue ocean and red ocean theory? Yeah. So it's kind of like the how am I a blue ocean kind of a service? How am I different? Or
right.
how do I have a lot of competitors that does the same thing or different?
Right.
And one thing that I like to do personally, because I run the advertisements for our company, is I like to find, it's called a USP, unique selling point, for all of our clients. So like, what do you do differently, and how can we leverage that in your messaging, your ad copy, your social media posts? Like, what do you do differently that we can hammer home to the people that you're trying to sell your service, product, music, whatever to? And that's really what you got to figure out, is how are you different? Because with musicians, for example, there are, especially here in Nashville, thousands of musicians all grinding and trying to do the same thing. What you have to do is almost look at what everybody's doing and then think of an idea that isn't that, because that's what separates you from the pack, really.
Yeah, and the more people do it, the more that will drive the market down too.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I got into wedding videography about a year ago, and I honestly didn't think I was going to get into it, but I'm a romantic person. I shot a lot of music videos, so my background is a lot of. Well, originally, I got into music videos so that I don't have to pay for anybody, but also I'm the one shooting, so I have to learn also how to do it for myself. But I shot a lot of music videos. A couple of them had romantic scenes, and I love doing this. So I said, "Oh, we should try wedding videography."
Yeah. Do you still do that now?
Oh yeah. I shot 11 weddings last year, and I have already about 6 in the books.
Wow.
And I work so there are 2 ways you can also earn in there: as your own company, and you can 3 second shooting. So like you have a good camera, and other person who needs another pair of another person. Yeah. They hire you, and then you're hired by a company who gets booked a lot.
I see,
and they control...
They contract you out.
Yeah, they control what it will look like, but ultimately, like, you're getting paid, like, between 50 to 100 per an hour.
Yeah.
And plus, like, gas. And then you can do your own company. So these are the
Which
3
do you do?
things. I do all 3.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I have my own company, which I opened this year. And it's under my production company, my production LLC. I wanted to separate them because my production company does music and video production. I didn't want to have too much stuff in.
You don't want to
I don't want to be like, I do music, I do photography, I do this, and I also do corporate and wedding.
You don't want to be jack of all trades, is master of none. You don't want to.
You don't
want to take on so many.
So I put a lot of thought in it, and I was talking to Casey, my fiance, and she was like, we were talking like, what should the name be? Like, you go on these Wedding Wire, every company has like something that has to do with wedding, like first vow, honey, whatever.
Right.
And they all look the same, and I'm like, the branding, it's like I could hire any of them and get pretty much the same look.
The same product.
And she was like, well, you're Hungarian. And what if we find a name in Hungarian that kind of looks cool?
Yeah.
Because she saw one name and she was like, that reads cool. It does. I don't even care what it means, but it reads cool. So we're like, talking about Hungarian words that has some kind of a meaning to weddings, and so we ended up using öröm, which means joy. And I'm like, that's great because I want people to feel joy the same day and like years to come when they're looking back their wedding films.
Right.
And my approach is very like I kind of become part of their family. Like I want them to feel comfortable with me. I'm not a fly in the wall. I'm not like the crazy. I am part of it. I'm capturing. I want people to be comfortable. That's kind of like my style is documentary / cinematic. So that's short.
Yeah.
Version of how that.
Do you have like a portfolio with like previous work that you show people?
Yeah. My website, Orom, like OROM, wedding films. Orom wedding films. I'm like 90% done.
Yeah, no, I'd love to take a look.
It is a lot of work. A lot of people think it's less work, but shooting a wedding film, a fuck ton of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. No,
it sounds like, because you're essentially directing, right? It's more than just taking pictures. Like, there's a whole like art to it, right?
When I got into it, I watched not only hours worth of edited films, but also tutorials and how to speak, how to do this. That I was freaking dreaming weddings.
Right.
I believe it.
I was going nuts, man,
right.
Nuts.
Were you nervous for your first one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Despite having like 6 years of music video shooting.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's a big deal for them, right? You don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, that's their special day, and like on your end, like you can do all the preparation and have all the experience, but until you start doing it and see success, you're going to be nervous.
Yes, and I've learned like there's certain. Okay, how may I say it? I had a different idea of what it is than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense, but certain things are actually directed, if you believe it or not. Like, it's not like you have one shot and that's it. Right. Like, there are key moments. Yeah. You have one shot. There are other moments that you could redo, but everything else is kind of either cinematic, or, you tell them, please do this, move like this, definitely. Which is like, you directing. Yeah. Or you have to have really good gear and make sure you know it, like closed eyes, you know what to do, how,
where to be at certain moments.
It's mental. Like I can show you like that whole thing. I have lights, stands, 7 batteries, and all kinds of crap.
I was the best man at a wedding last summer, and I remember that part in particular was like the filming of it was a ton of work. Like they had like 5 people. We were redoing certain things time and time again. Like. It's almost. I mean, I've never filmed a movie, but it's a similar approach, I would assume.
It's and I do this thing called the same day edit. Mm-hmm. You can do it if you have a second shooter, because what it entails is when they're going dancing, you go in the back and you edit a highlight film. Yeah. Up to 10-minute highlight film.
And show it that day.
And you really have to know your footage. Mm-hmm. You really have to have a good file management system, because. It's very, like, not scary, but it's a lot of pressure. Because everybody then sits down and watch it. But there's nothing better feeling than seeing people smile, cry, and look at you and like, oh, my God.
Like when you did a good job and people are, like, confirming, like, you crushed it. That's a great feeling.
Like, yeah. So... I love doing it because I'm a big people person. Mm-hmm. I love capturing these moments and things like that. So that really fulfills me. Yeah. That's why I do music production, video production, and weddings. Yeah. Pretty much everything that I do, like the core reason is connection. Right.
I totally agree, man. Like when I started my first company, what I realized is I fell in love with the process of building something from the ground up. I almost care less. I don't care if it's a restaurant, a barbershop, a marketing company. An investment fund, a sports agency, doesn't matter. I love the process of building it from the ground up, and that's what's great about our marketing company is that we get to do that time and time again with the clients. We see them go from ground zero to multi-million dollars in revenue a year, or maybe they're already at level 10 and see them, help them get to the next level.
That's why I like what we do is I personally have worked with a lot of like mom and pop, like this is my entire income, like I need this business to succeed in order to pay my rent or to take my family on vacation, pay off debts, whatever. And I have case studies where some of the clients that I've worked with, the marketing that we've done for them has really, really helped them thrive in their life. And they come to me and they're like, Jeremy, like your advertising and your marketing really, really helped me take my family on vacation this year, or we paid off my student loans because this business is crushing it. And because that's a result of my work, it makes me feel so good when I get a report like that with some of my clients.
Then they send referrals, like these, we're friends with our clients is what we love. They call us like, we each do different things at the firm, but like they call us just to hang out sometimes. I was in California for a month. I got a few calls asking how I was liking being home. Nice. Had nothing to do with work, and then vice versa. We send Christmas cards, we have like a really like family oriented approach to the way we do business, or friends, I guess.
Nice. I think that's important, Wow, that's amazing. Wow. To take it all in. Yeah. I love what I'm hearing. You guys seem like an awesome pair.
Yeah.
Awesome folks to work with.
I'm glad I met him.
Same here. It's cool to work with Matt Damon, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Where are you guys from?
I'm from Illinois originally. Everyone's like, oh, Chicago. No, not Chicago. I'm actually from about 4 hours south of Chicago. Springfield, Illinois is the bigger metro area, but I'm really from a very, very small town of about 4,000 people called Auburn, Illinois, which if you're not from there, you've probably never heard of it, but that's where I'm from.
You're the only person from Illinois that I've heard say they're not from Chicago.
Yeah, it's because
the
majority of the population is from Chicago. So.
Yeah, well, that's like people say, I'm from Chicago. I'm like, oh, what part? They're like, oh, like 6 hours north. I'm like, so you're not from Chicago? Like,
no, you're not.
Has nothing to do.
No.
Yeah.
And if people actually from Chicago, if you're not in Chicago proper and you say you're from Chicago, they get so mad.
Yeah.
They get.
I don't know.
They're
why.
so defensive about that stuff.
Right.
Dude, up there in Chicago.
Right, and then I'm from Southern California. I'm from a place called Orange County. It's like an hour south of LA.
I know Orange County. I used to watch Orange County Choppers.
Oh, really? Then yeah, you're familiar.
A while ago, bro.
Yeah. So right now, a show it's called Selling Sunset is really popular.
Oh, yeah.
I don't live in a mansion on the beach, but in that area.
When did you guys move to Nashville, and what inspired you to move to Nashville?
So I've been here for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in June, so about 2.5. And I moved here to Nashville because, like I said, I'm from a very small town of about 4,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to move to a bigger city because I was kind of tired of that small town life, and I'm very ambitious, and I felt like there's more opportunity in a bigger city. But I didn't want to move up to Chicago because all of my college friends were up in Chicago, and I felt like if I moved to Chicago, I just want to have hung out with the same people and done the same things that I had been doing my entire life. So Nashville is about 5 hours from home. I'd visited a few times. It's a bigger city, and it's one of the fastest growing metros in the country. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be different. I'm not going to go to Chicago and follow everybody that I know. I want new experiences, and Nashville, it just seems like the perfect cocktail of it's growing, it's a big city, it's close, and no one I know that lives there. So it was just a great opportunity all around.
Right.
That big change can also be really scary.
Yes, it was scary.
But a lot of times, like big change can result in good outward things.
Yeah,
like
so my life was here, and then I moved to Nashville, and it just skyrocketed. So, but it was very scary because I moved here knowing one person, and that was it. So,
well, you are a very people person. Like me and you like to make connections.
Yes.
Right.
So if you're that type of person, it's easy. You just gotta go and be you know, and then you meet people.
Love to network, love to meet people, love to go to happy hours and cocktail bars and networking events and all that stuff. That's my jam. I love all that
that's
stuff.
part
He sits at a coffee shop with a sticker on his laptop that says, "I own a marketing agency. Let's talk."
Yeah.
You know that's a great
it's like
idea.
the epitome of an entrepreneur.
My dad's be telling me that we gotta put a big sign on your white car.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Something. Yeah. Damn.
I kind of had the same. So my other partner, we started our marketing company when we were in college. And so we were in our dorm rooms just working. You know, I was barely even going to class at this point. We're just doing this full time. But my plan was to go to law school. And then I remember the day I got into my first law school that I heard back from, I saw I got in, and I wasn't excited. I was like, oh shit, now I have to go, you know? And so it was like a lot of thinking. And then it came summer, and I had two options. It was either go to law school or pursue this full time. And now I'm in Nashville.
Wow.
I didn't choose law school, you know.
When did you move here?
8 months ago.
8 months ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it'll be a year in April, or 10 months ago, I guess now.
And you guys met at an event.
A networking event.
Networking event. Yeah.
That was in October?
Oh, wow.
So recently, yeah. We hit it off, and we're in the same industry, and so we merged our companies. Now we're working together full time.
So you wanted to do also an advertising company?
Yeah, we do. So we do advertising, but we offer other services as well. We build websites and like a variety of different services. But you know, Jeremy and I have a lot in common, so we merged the two, and now we're trying to compete with the big boys, so to say.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to do a marketing agency?
What
made you think like I want to do marketing?
So I actually have a pretty funny story about this. I love telling this story because it's goofy. So I actually got into advertising, which is a piece of the whole digital marketing pie, because of a video game when I was like 13. And the story goes, do you know what Roblox is? Have you heard of Roblox?
I haven't even heard this story. This is wild. Not Roblox.
Yeah, this is a new story for you. So Roblox is a game where it's like online Legos, kind of.
Oh!
You use like little online plastic pieces, and you can build games on Roblox.
Huh.
And then you can get other players on Roblox to come play your game.
And you make money off that,
And you can make money off of it. And you can either make the games and then you can also like build advertisements on, because Roblox is just like a web browser, and the advertisements appear on like the sides as like banners. So on Roblox, building the games, you needed to know like coding and kind of how to computer code and a little bit of like design knowledge, and I didn't. I tried to learn it. I was just so bad, and my games were terrible. But so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to learn how to create advertisements for Roblox games, and it kind of introduced me. I started like designing advertisements on Roblox. I was like 14 when I played this game, and I got really, really, really good at it. And on Roblox, you can spend real money to get a digital currency. It's called Robux. Then you can spend it on like skins and stuff for your character and stuff like that. And I got so good at building the ads on Roblox that other players who were good at making games would pay me in Robux to make ads for their games. So when I was like 14 years old, I was running a little Roblox advertising agency when I was a little kid. And then I like graduated, or not graduated, I like kind of grew up and stopped playing video games and stuff and kind of forgot about it until I went to college and I was studying marketing because I kind of knew I wanted to do marketing, but I didn't know what. And we took a digital marketing class, and we went over advertising, like digital advertising, and it kind of just clicked. I was like, this is what I used to love to do when I was a kid. I used to do this I did it for like 2 years. Absolutely loved it as a kid. Like, I kind of want to just, I'm going to go for it, and this is what I want to do as a career. So my passion and kind of my work I discovered as a kid, which was really cool. And, you know, like, I'm 26 at this point, so 12 years later, I'm doing the same thing full time and making money doing it, which is really cool. That's the story.
Yeah. That's a phenomenal story. Yeah. I love it.
That's much better than mine. Yeah.
I wasn't comparing.
Yeah. No, that's the first time I've heard that story too.
Dang.
Roblox is wild though. That's crazy that that's your intro.
Yeah, that's how I learned advertising.
Wow.
Roblox is crazy. What got you into music?
Music. So as a kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD, dyslexia, dysgraphia, all these things. And I would go from one game to the other game. I would not sit down, you know. And then my dad had a guitar. And after that, I had one thing in my mind to be a musician. And I always looked up to people who created something new, who didn't follow a trend, who didn't like do what everybody does. I always wanted to find my own voice, my own thing, and looked up to people like Quincy Jones and things like that. So I wanted to be a music producer, and I was always visual. So I was making small videos with my cousin and stuff like that, and that's kind of what got me to further that.
Gotcha.
You know, I went to a music school in Hungary, studied jazz there, and then moved back to the States.
Yeah.
And then after college, I had one company that did music and video production, and then not long ago, I decided I'm going to make a big jump just myself and pursue all this stuff the way I imagined it, the way I felt it works for me.
Right.
You know, because I think it's really important to find like-minded people that you don't have to clash with certain thoughts, certain ways of running things. You know, and I loved the other person.
Yeah.
I mean, not romantically, but
very
good. But some things we were not thinking the same.
Right.
And you know, a lot of the people in my family were like, maybe they were telling me for a while, maybe you should do these certain things, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's time to listen.
Yeah.
You know, and definitely one thing that I've learned is you have to have really good systems. Because even when I was hearing you guys talk about how you run, I'm like, wow, you guys must have a lot of systems to do this and this and this to keep everything organized.
Definitely, it's a well-oiled machine, you know.
Yeah, it's I'm having to learn like how to use like project management tools and tracking like time. And the better I track, the better I manage my time. Because it's a lot. Because I gotta be a good musician.
Right.
I gotta still keep practicing, but I can't sit for 9 hours a day and do this.
Right.
You know, but I have to be a businessman, come up with services. It's a lot of things that you have to do as a business owner.
Right.
You know, which is more than a full-time job, and for a long time, you might not see a direct result. You know, it's you have to build the connections, and not almost like you have to have a good team.
For sure.
You know, like folks, because you can't do everything yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but I think collectively people together with the same mindset can reach further.
For sure.
I don't know. That's just
I
my
100%.
absolutely agree. And not to interrupt,
No,
but,
you-
I was until I met Ander, I was a solopreneur. I started my business and was building my business alone, and I ran into a lot of those issues where it's like, I'm wearing every single hat in this business, and it was tough. It was really tough at the beginning because like I straight up quit my 9-to-5 jobs. Like, I'm gonna do this, and it was tough at the beginning because I had some connections, but I had never started a business before. I knew how to do the service that I was offering, but like I was trying to do accounting and sales and while dealing with clients and running my business and
Legal
landing
and everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
all of it. I was doing every single thing, and then I met Ander, and he really, his skill set is a lot of the things I'm not very good at. He's very good at, so we kind of just meshed, and it's
Other way
been
around
so
as
much
well.
easier
Yeah.
since then.
I think that's good because that's not too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's I deal with the meat department, you deal
Yeah.
with the vegetables.
Exactly.
You know, like I
Right.
think that's the good what's the word, symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
'Cause
Definitely.
what had happened with the company that I was in, that there were 3 music producers, 3 this, 3 that. We were doing literally the same kind of thing, and people talked about just different music, and art is so subjective. What somebody considered good, somebody would not like.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think what's difficult sometimes to manage being an artist is manage that.
Right,
You know,
right.
a lot of artists don't succeed because they sit too long on things.
Right.
And they don't have an entrepreneur mindset.
Right.
Just my thought.
Definitely. I think what's great about like our stuff too, and like before Jeremy and I started working together, we were friends, you know, and same with everyone else at the firm. So it's like, and what makes it easier is that like, and Jeremy and I have never had this situation, but like with one of our other partners, we've been working together since college, the one that I started the company with. And there's times where we're yelling at each other, we're about to fist fight and stuff, but it's because of a mutual passion. We have so much on the line, you know? Like, we walked away from way too much for this not to work. So it's good to be surrounded by people that have the same, like, skin in the game. Like,
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
It is something. One of the things that, and I think it was a marketing and kind of like a direction, like what did we really want to do? We really didn't. I mean, we had something, but we hit like a lot of plateaus in going for and scaling up the things, and just, you know, there were some hurdles that fortunately we couldn't pass through.
Right.
But with the systems that I'm trying, I'm trying to learn, like, meet people and see who would be a very good fit to pair with and to do certain endeavors with.
Right.
You know,
Right.
kind of taking what I've learned, because I think a lot of people learn from their mistakes and their crap they went through, and like, maybe I don't do that next
Right.
time.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I'm sure you all have stories of crap. You know.
We've all
100%.
got crap.
Yeah, we actually, and it's funny that you mentioned you do like direction and like almost like documentary style video form, because that's something we've talked about exploring in the future, and even in, you know, like coming up, like we love the like. And I can't really speak for, I mean, I'm sure he agrees, but I'll just speak for myself. Like, I love the lifestyle that we're leading right now. It's like the process of, and I've said it earlier, building something from the ground up and being able to document that, even just to show my kids one day, whether we market it or not. But it's like, I'd love to be able to relive this moment down the line, you know? And
You
like,
know what's funny, which I had no idea about. So Casey, my fiance, she has a memory issue. I don't want to say. She has SDAM, severely deficient autobiographical memory. She can't see memories.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
so
insane.
I always thought that when I say, imagine this, and you're going to be like, yep, I see it, you know?
Yeah.
And apparently there's like 8 levels, or I don't know how many levels of ways of how strong you feel. Do you see memories?
Yeah.
Do you see memories?
No, so when I think of a memory, I can, like, I don't have like a vision or visual.
Interesting.
I can know what happened. I can remember words that were said. I can remember sounds, senses, all that. I can know what it is, but I cannot physically. Like, if I close my eyes and think of an apple, I don't see a picture of an
That's
apple.
called
Yeah.
aphantasia.
What do you see?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You
Wow.
can't
You-
picture an apple?
I can't think, like, close my eyes and think of an apple. I know what an apple looks like. I can
You can't picture it though.
I can't like.
I'm looking at an apple right now, dude.
No. It's just like it's
insane.
Did you know about this?
I'm thinking of apple. It's black. It's just black.
What?
Do you dream?
I dream, yeah.
No, but do you see the dream?
It's not really. It's more so just like thoughts. Like,
oh wow.
It's like almost like you're watching. It's almost like when I dream, it's almost like you're watching a movie, but it's just like the audio. That's kind of how I would describe a dream.
So can you not picture anything in your head?
I don't think so.
So right now, I'm picturing The Office. I can see The Office right now. You can't do that?
Like,
my mind is blown right now.
The thing is, it's so hard to explain because I know what The Office looks like.
Yeah,
and I can,
it's like explaining color to somebody that's never seen colors.
It's just like when you close your eyes and you imagine The Office, like you physically see what it looks like.
Yes.
When I close my eyes and think about The Office, I know what it looks like, and it's so hard to explain. I don't see it.
My mind is fucking blown
I don't
right
see
now.
it though.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my fiance can't either.
I didn't know that was an option.
I didn't know either.
I didn't know you had settings like that. Like, you just need an iOS update.
But that's actually kind of a scale. Like,
it's common.
So when you see an apple, you can see it to full color, or you see it like a sketch.
Yeah.
You know, there is it's called aphantasia.
Yeah.
And there's actually 1 or 2 podcasts that talks about aphantasia. There's aphantasia and ASDAM, severely deficient autobiographical memory, or something. She knows a lot about it, so I'm gonna have to mention her that you also have that, which is mental. My 2 cousins, they're also autistic. They have aphantasia also. They can't see anything.
That is insane.
Yeah.
It's so hard to explain to somebody who doesn't.
Yeah, dude, what's the earliest memory you guys have?
Not to kill the mood, this is my grandpa's funeral is my earliest memory. We were at the hotel afterwards eating popcorn.
How old were you?
3 maybe?
Yeah. You?
I remember eating popcorn.
That's wild.
Yeah.
My earliest memory? Honestly, I remember finding that guitar in the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some of my memories are more like pictures, and some memories that were very strong are more like a movie or that has a strong emotional connection.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like I have a good memories that I can imagine, and I have bad memories that I can relive. That's why it's hard to get over certain like shitty experiences because I can almost see the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, depends on the strength of the emotion that you have attached with it. Right. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that 100% makes sense.
I don't know, like when my earliest memories, because I have a bunch from when I was little, and I don't know chronologically which ones come before others. But one memory I have that's very like random is, so my dad used to travel a lot for work. So when I was little, I was very fortunate to travel like all over the world. Unfortunately, I was super young, so I can't say I've experienced these places. Like I've been to a bunch of wild places, but it's very different going as a 3-year-old in a stroller than as an adult by yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember we were in Brazil, and we were checking into the hotel, and my mom and dad were checking in. They said, just wait right here, we'll be right back. And as soon as they turned around, my sister and I took off, went to the elevator, and I have a memory standing in the elevator with my sister being scared as shit because we were lost in Brazil. We realized we're like in a country without our parents. I think I was like 4 maybe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was wild.
I wonder how that even works. Did you talk to your parents, or you have a brother?
I have 3 brothers and a sister.
Did you ask them how they experience memories?
I haven't even
thought about it
until
I didn't know this was an option. Now. Yeah.
I didn't know you know. I mean,
you didn't know we could picture.
Well, I've seen like TikToks about this, so like I've seen videos before, but until I like saw stuff on TikTok about it, I was like, I didn't know that was an option. Like I thought everyone was like.
So I actually still I can't wrap my head around it. So if you close your eyes, you can't put a picture.
Tell me to think of something right now.
My shoes.
I've seen your shoes. I know what they look like. I can think like, yeah, they're blue and white and whatever, but like
you can't picture.
I can't like that shoe does not appear in my brain.
It's so wild. You can do that, right?
You know, it's funny about music is that I can see it played in front of me on a piano. I don't have perfect pitch, but I have pretty good relative pitch.
Yeah.
And if I hear a song in any key, if I know the key center, and I hear a note, I can see where would be on piano.
Okay. So can you, because like, and you're obviously 10 times the musician I am, but like when I was in college, like I don't know how to read sheet music, right? But I used to have bad anxiety my freshman year, so I'd go into a piano room and just try to learn music and it'd calm me down. But I can't read sheet music, so I would listen to it and like find the keys and then over time learn, you know, and then eventually there was like, I found this YouTube channel that does piano, like Guitar Hero, so you like follow along.
Really?
And then that got super easy, then, you know? Yeah. But like even now I can like, when I learn a song, it's fun. Like I'll listen to it and I don't really get to play any more often, but for you, can you hear it once and then replay it?
So I see those two as two different skills. Mm-hmm. Being able to read and play it back is one skill, and hear it and play it back, because hearing it also has auditory memory.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of like knowing where more or less it. But I can do both. You know, and I remember in Hungary we were learning how to like imagine the melody in your head.
Yeah.
Kind of like singing it. We had a lot of like, they play a melody and you have to write it down.
Right.
You know, and you have to like, I always imagine the staff or the piano and imagine the shape it would be played.
Right.
You know, and that's how I would write it down. And I had a teacher at Berkeley like, oh, you have perfect pitch? I'm like, no, I just had some crazy days where I would listen to a G note for 24 hours.
Right. So when you hear a note, you know what note it is?
Oh,
like with
it was something that if I practice more, I am better at it.
Yeah.
Like, it really depends.
Like Charlie Puth.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
TikTok.
Not like that. Yeah. I have a cousin who
he
does.
He went to Berkeley too, right?
He did, yeah. And I studied with somebody who I think he did video work for or something like that. But
I can play his music.
Yeah,
on piano.
I love his music.
Yeah.
I would say that's kind of like would be my style. If I'm during COVID, I did a comedy record of pickup lines.
Yeah.
And I did a happy birthday song, and I was like, let's do something funny. So I googled like random pickup lines, and I created like pop funk music.
Yeah.
I'll play
it. Yeah,
definitely.
Well,
and I used to do music videos with my 360 camera. 360 cameras are so freaking dope.
That's wild. I've never even seen one.
It has two 180 sphere cameras.
Gotcha.
And it stitches it together where in post you can actually automate work. It's kind of like having a cameraman there.
I see, yeah.
Sorry about that. That's probably Casey asking what up. But, yeah, man.
That's wild. I'd love to see the 360 camera.
Oh, yeah. I can show you that video, the Happy Birthday song.
Yeah.
Which I used to...
Are you going to play some music for us?
I can play one, and I might show you one of my songs I wrote for my grandma, and I do percussive guitar.
Yeah, wow.
God, I hope I won't suck, because sometimes I work so long I forget to practice.
I promise you on your worst day is better than us after like years of practice. You went to Berkeley. You know?
Oh. Well, let's see. I should play some music.
Jeremy's going to sing.
Oh, yeah, I'll sing you guys a song.
I saw Jeremy sing karaoke a couple weeks back.
Okay, I think it's this.
Oh, did you film the video too?
I did,
yeah. Let's watch it.
Self-filmed it. Self-filmed, that sounds funny. Let me put the audio on this system that I have here.
That does sound good.
Cakes, ice cream, candles on the top. Cards on the door, 20 billion hearts. Cakes, ice cream, candles on the top. Cards on the door, 20 billion hearts. Doves in the air, bringing you my thoughts.
Do you use Ableton or what software?
Logic.
I can definitely hear like the similarities to something like Charlie Puth would do. You know?
I just wanna tell you happy birthday.
This is fire, dude. This is so good.
I just wanna wish like,
fire, bro.
I was like, why don't you just write random stuff that people do on the birthday?
No, this is good.
Movies, maybe sex.
I don't know why this reminds me of like if Charlie Puth was an Earth, Wind and Fire or something, you know.
Bringing you my thoughts. My simple wish is all I have.
Was Casey filming?
I don't know when she's done with her workout.
No, was she filming this?
Oh no, it was a 360
180
camera. Yeah, one, yeah, 360.
Yeah.
I just wanna wish you happy birthday.
Shuffling.
So cool.
Yeah, baby, happy.
Was this in Nashville?
Yeah, South Nashville.
Oh, this is sick, man.
Happy birthday. Happy
My favorite part is coming.
Of the video or the song?
Sorry,
The video or the song?
favorite part in the song. That
I just wanna tell you.
I just wanna wish you, yeah.
I just wanna tell you. I just wanna wish you. I just wanna tell you. I just wanna wish you. I just wanna tell you.
Has me playing jazz guitar.
Is that you on guitar?
Yeah, all the instruments.
Oh, I see. You layer it.
Happy birthday. 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 Happy birthday.
That was genuinely so good,
I
dude.
loved it, dude.
That was like, I'm not just saying that. Like, that was actually so
I
good.
know.
That was fire.
I always wanted to add a layer of melodic hook. My favorite is the ending, one of the ending melodic hooks. I always wanted to add the layer of keep the tension,
Yeah.
add something, another, maybe a harmony or a different, same words, different melody, you know.
Right.
These are like little melodic ear candy or something.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that was insane.
Yeah, it was one. Oh, it's all right. You know, I was actually a remake. I produced the song a year before this, but it's an even more retro version.
Gotcha.
And there's one song that's kind of based off of what's the name of that guy? He did this song called Shine. He's also an actor.
What's he in?
What's his name? Watermelon Sugar High.
Harry Styles?
It's very Harry Styles-y. It'll make sense, I think, once you hear it.
Harry Styles is actually a good actor. I liked him, even though it was a silent film. Did you see Dunkirk?
I saw Dunkirk. I saw him in what's the one where it came out recently? I don't know if you saw it. It's one where they're in like a simulation kind of thing.
Oh, I saw the cover of it, but I haven't watched it yet.
I like that movie a lot.
He's a good actor.
He is, yeah. He's talented.
So I saw this, what is it called, pickup line. It said, "Are you sugar babe? Because you're sweet and I wanna lick you," or something like that. I don't remember, but I'm like, that sounds cool. Let's write a song about it. And I had my friend play soprano.
Yeah. Who's in the video?
Stock.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I didn't know you could do stock video. That was wild.
Yeah.
Oh, I want a spoon, yeah.
How many instruments are on here?
Drums, bass, guitar, piano, some synth or pad, and soprano saxophone.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say.
think. I sent it to my friend. He played in my big band. I used to have a big band,
Yeah.
23 piece.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, and he was an awesome saxophone player. I'm like, hey, I'm doing this fun stuff. Throw on some like corny 80s sounding saxophone, and like, here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is good though, dude.
Yeah, I don't even consider myself a primary singer. One of my old friends told me, hey, you should do some vocal exercises and maybe you can get some additional gigs. So
are you on Spotify?
I am, yeah.
I'm gonna follow
Danny
you right
Nagy.
now.
Yeah. I have a lot of jazz fusion stuff, but some of it you can find this. There's some funny songs. There's one that's based off of kind of like Bruno Mars. You'll like Bruno Mars? And it's called Are You From Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Yeah.
You want to hear bits of that?
Yeah. I used that pickup line in like 4th grade.
Oh,
it's a
man.
classic.
Gotta use it when we live in Tennessee, literally.
I have a girlfriend, so I guess I haven't been waiting to, but I'm gonna use it on her.
So this is that.
I chose Wix.
Oh, and for some reason I haven't
Wix.
had on it. I do have
Wix.
Wix.
Yeah, we built some sites on Wix.
For my business.
It's a very good platform.
Yeah, it's not bad.
functionality
The design
and-
is relatively limited in comparison to like Webflow, but the Tennessee logo.
I was riding my bicycle, yeah, and suddenly I saw this beauty, and I thought to myself, holy smoke, where is she from? Red hat, bluish eyes, is she from Tennessee? Girl, are you from Tennessee? 'Cause you know Tennessee. Girl, are you from Tennessee? 'Cause you know Tennessee.
Can you sell the masters to this music if you wanted to?
Sorry?
Could you sell the masters
I
to this
could,
music if
yeah.
you wanted to? Would you?
If the price
The
is
price
good
is
enough.
right?
The
Yeah.
price
I
is
don't know.
right.
Because you could just make another one, right?
I could, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that during COVID. I just want to do some funny shit that would
Yeah.
make people giggle. I mean, they're not the best, but I enjoyed them and
It
I like
sounds
them.
fun.
That's
This
all
sounds
that
good.
matters, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like what you do.
I'd love to hear you say, I mean, at some point, play something live, you know?
Do you do like live shows or anything like that?
I used to, but because I did a lot of live playing when I was at school, and I love live playing.
Yeah.
I like if I could, I would redo my big band, but it is not a cheap thing to have a big
can't
band.
imagine,
You
yeah.
know, and I don't want to take advantage of people either. Like I want to be at a good spot where I can pay them and stuff
Right.
like that.
Have you
But-
seen Whiplash?
Whiplash? Yes.
Is that
yes.
similar to what going to school
I mean,
like that is?
No.
No?
There are teachers that are like that.
Yeah.
I've had a rough teacher. I think I've had like 20-ish guitar teachers. And
Yeah.
a few of them were rough.
Yeah. I tell everyone, or whenever they ask, that music theory is by far the hardest class I've ever taken. It was harder than calculus, harder than
Really?
data analysis. Yeah. Much harder.
Opposite for me.
Yeah.
Crap in math.
Yeah.
But
Well, me too. I'm bad at that too. It's not like I'm good at that and
Oh.
bad at music theory. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I love music theory. That was my favorite.
Really.
Yeah.
I took it, like I mentioned, I was
Huge
learning
nerd.
piano, so in my head I thought I was nice. Like I thought I was advanced at piano. And like 10 minutes into that class, I'm like, shit, what did I just sign up for?
Yeah.
For a whole semester? There's no way. I think I passed with like a C, like barely, you know.
Which one?
Music theory.
Music theory?
Yeah.
It's a dance subject.
Yeah, it is.
It's
No, I remember I don't read sheet music, so the terminology was foreign to me as well. So I was already playing catch up, even listening, let alone practicing. You know. But I'm glad I did.
I'll show you this microtonal thing because I thought would be interesting. So you know, because you studied music, then there are 12 notes in
Right.
that Western system. But there are other like culture music, or before the equal temperament or the 12-note equal temperament came out to be, there were other notes. There is still, but like for instance.
Yeah, that's already stressing me out, bro. Definitely can't do it.
And
So,
the-
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you listen to a song that has guitar, could you replicate it? Probably.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't have a song in
But
mind. I
this
was
is a
just
bit
wondering.
out
Yeah.
of tune now. My uncle built this guitar.
Oh
That's
wow,
wild.
that's super
Yeah, that's my signature model.
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I have a friend who he works at a guitar shop here that builds for like high profile country artists.
Really?
Yeah.
Which store?
It's in South Nashville, kind of by
Grunts?
Yes.
My uncle is the guitar repairman there.
Oh, really? They
Yes.
probably know. I can't remember his name. He was in my old Army unit, but I think he worked there. It's in South Nashville.
What's his name?
I was in the Army over a year ago. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I can try to...
You were in the Army?
I was in the National Guard, so like the reserves.
Dang.
But yes, I'll try to think of his name. I remember him talking about it in passing, but he told me he's built guitars for some of the biggest country artists in the world, which is pretty cool.
My uncle, well, I call him my uncle, but technically he's my second cousin.
Yeah.
He's the foreman there. He's the, I think, the head of the repair division
Yeah,
or something.
the guy that I know is probably one of his employees or something like that.
Interesting.
I'll try to think of his name.
There are a couple of Hungarian folks there, which is fun. There's Greg Verus, I think. Greg, he's one guy working there. And then Tony Nagy. I'm sure if you talk to him, mention Tony, he's my uncle.
I'll have to think. I wasn't very good friends with the guy. I'll have to think of his name. It was like last year at this point, but
Dude, we'd love to have you come in the office at some point. It'd be so
Oh,
cool to
yes,
collaborate
please,
on something. I don't know what we could do
please.
together, but it'd be fun, you know?
Please. I mean, I'd love to learn more in the process and stuff. I'm planning to have a lot of artists, a lot of other profession folks talk here with me, and I want to create some sort of
a network almost.
network event or something like that,
Absolutely.
you know, because I want to meet people who I can refer to other artists
the other way
and
around,
stuff
you
like
know?
that, you know.
Yeah. Like, what would you say would be the thing we could do immediately to help you with your business?
Marketing strategy.
Oh, like, even like aside, like, if I could bring you one person tomorrow who would...
I'll tell you where I'm at now. I'm in the finding out good systems that I need to do to run a business alone. You know, and systems are the most important thing. Your daily habits and stuff like that. So I need to finish my websites because my old website or our old website is gonna be gone in like a week or so. So I have to get my production website up.
Yeah.
And
Are you building it?
Yes,
Nice.
Wix.
Okay, gotcha.
And I did have to do a lot of thinking because of the two things that I provide: music production for both artists and corporate, and video production for artists and corporate, and photography. But it's more videography. I'm not like, let's take photos.
Right.
All of my cameras are videography based, which are two different types.
Gotcha.
And I have to get that running and get into a habit of creating content, posting these sort of things. So it's more so getting into a habit of getting into a good daily habit. And once that's done, then I will know what is it that's missing to get to the next level. Until that, I'm the kind of person I want to kind of do what I can, get to my potential, if it makes sense, and then where I'm at, what do I need? What are the things that holds me back from other things?
Right.
You know, I know that I need to. I'm thinking about building a better studio, but Casey and we have plans of getting a duplex, getting some sort of passive income. But my dream studio is to have a spot where I can have both music and video production, have a green screen, white screen, all this stuff.
Well, sorry, not to cut you off. We're looking at moving into a bigger office in our building that has plenty of room if you ever want to come check it out, because we're looking at building a studio there as well for product shoots and stuff. So maybe we can figure something out where you have access to it as well and be able to use it.
I'm open to chatting about anything.
Yeah.
I know a lot about building panels, how to make stuff sound good, you know, and it's multi-level, you know.
Would you be willing to, and we can talk about this later, would you be willing to help us build our studio for a fee?
Oh, we can talk about it,
once we get there.
Depends on what sort of studio are you looking. We can talk about it later.
We'll connect you with, later for sure, with Ryan.
I mean, outside of the shooting.
Of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
That's something we'll probably
I'm open to chatting about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I...
Because ideally, because we're going to get to that office when financially it makes sense for us. We're already paying for an office and we're reinvesting in other aspects of our business, but if there's a model we can create where it's like shared between several different companies and we split the cost of it down the line, you know, or at least with like Ryan, because like we need the studio maybe twice a week, but it's gonna be sitting there the rest of the week, you know. So why not let other people use it as well?
I think that's a very smart way of looking at it, because I don't want to necessarily work where I live.
Yeah.
I want to have that separation.
Right.
You know, I'm aching to do that. You know, because you want to have the feeling of going into your office.
Absolutely, man.
And having control over that.
I'm telling you, in the 2 weeks we've done it, we've been 5 times more productive.
It's great.
We've gotten like 5 clients in like 2.5 weeks, where before that would take 4 months, you know?
I feel you.
2 months or whatever the math is. But it's something about waking up and like commuting and like you're already going through all this just to get there, so you might as well work hard too, you know?
Right.
Yeah, the whole system, what your system is...
Let me see if I have pictures.
Directly, like, I forgot the word, but it impacts your work ethic. You know, do you guys also track your day and what you're working on, how much you're spending on things?
Time tracking?
Yeah.
I haven't recently, but that's actually... I have a friend, he's a very successful entrepreneur, and that's something he told me I need to start doing, because he was able to track his time, figure out what tasks and things he was doing to get the most value out of his time, and then really start automating things and kind of doing, and he was just able to prioritize his time.
This is a private suite. This is down 501 Union.
Okay,
I'll let you come in. We're looking to get in here. Like, there's a kitchen. This whole corner I want to turn into a studio. You know,
that's awesome.
So we're not here yet. This is our office right now, but we're hoping to get in there in a couple months. Like, we just work in here, you know.
That's amazing.
But we love it.
That's amazing.
We love it. But if we can get because obviously we'll be in there every single day. But if we can get a situation where like it's almost like a block schedule or like a timeshare for creators like you to come in and use it, and it kind of, you know, you have access to the building 24/7, utilities, Wi-Fi is all included. There's great lighting. We can customize it however, so we can paint the walls. We can mount lighting, monitors, whatever the case may be. We have full access. But as soon as we're able to do it, it'd be great to do that, you know.
That sounds awesome. I've seen a lot of folks having shared spaces, especially in the Music Row, where there's one ginormous house and that's not owned but rented between 2-3 companies. So
that's kind of the model that our building does now. Is like we're in like it's an office floor, but every suite is a different company. But upstairs are the larger suites where we want our own private one, and then be able to almost replicate that model to a smaller degree in there. Sorry, not to cut you off. Only with like friends. Like, we don't want randoms in there, you know.
I was gonna cut you off.
Okay.
But I was the one who spoke while you were speaking.
It's all good, man.
I was gonna ask, what is your big goal? Like, when you... Now, I know you don't see anything in your head, referring to
my thoughts.
But when you think of what you guys do, where do you hope to grow?
Biggest marketing company in the country.
Nice.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, in being able to do
just doing marketing.
That's our biggest goal for this company. I have goals outside of that, like in my life, but
yeah.
Did you mean about life or like for the
not
company?
Life?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we could talk about that too, but as a company,
like,
do you want to keep it just solely marketing, or you want to have sub things that takes care of other elements?
So we're exploring, you know, our structure. Like, we're really big on providing value first. Like, and this is a super side story, but when I was in like second grade, this sounds so corny, but you guys can call my mom and ask her about it. The first entrepreneurial thing I ever did was I gave like 15 people $1 each and told them that we're a friend group now. And I got in trouble for it. The parents sent the money back, but I remember like my thought at the time, or I don't really remember it like exactly, but I thought that I was building something, you know, and that felt great. Obviously, it's not cool to give random kids money, and it feels like I'm paying for friends. I promise I have normal friends too, but and like with our clients now, like I'd love to find a way to like explore. So we like partnership is really what we're trying to establish at our company. Is we're not just a service you outsource to, we're your partner, you know. And so like even with like a lot of our clients, we help them with their structure. We help integrate third-party software to automate their accounting process or their invoicing or their outreach. Like, we're more than just marketing. We're almost like I said, like a partner. And what's great about that is it's scalable. So it's like I'm maybe we don't get ownership over other companies, but like the revenue share model, like we're growing with them. And so that's kind of the vision, is get as many partners or clients as possible and provide as much value to as many different people.
I like that. I always liked Warner Brothers. They have like a music division, a film division. They have so many of these subdivisions.
Yeah.
I liked kind of like overseeing, this part of it, but then have another company that can oversee this part of it, and you're kind of in talks with each other on we do the content and what is your strategy marketing wise and things like
right.
I don't know, that's what at least
it's like a network of services
back then,
almost.
yeah.
So I think initially we're going to start with marketing because that's where most of our skills are, and then as we scale, we'll take on other things if it makes sense, for the client.
Definitely.
But marketing first, and then as we expand and scale, we'll probably start doing other things.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, we have that investment fund as well. So I'd like to find a way for the two of those things to go hand in hand. I don't know exactly how yet, but obviously we're going through some licensing for the fund right now, and once that's done, my plan is to run marketing through the marketing company for the fund. I just don't know how the fund is going to benefit the marketing company yet, But we're working on figuring that out.
And how do you market your marketing company?
Yeah. Honestly, like the big thing we've been focusing on is results. Like we're relatively new, so all our clients have been referral based. Really, Jeremy and I have spent like maybe 10 hours a week cold calling, and we've gotten a few clients from that. But for the most part, it's the referrals. Like we're really big on our stuff works. And,
And I'm huge in-person networking. That's how I met you. So all of my clients, before we started merging, all of my clients that I had landed were through networking events, through in-person referrals, all of that stuff. So that's how I personally build the business so far, is through just networking and getting to know people and building relationships, getting people to trust me with their money. And that's kind of how I've done it so far. But we're working on kind of like a sales program. We might run some ads in the future. That's coming. But up until this point, it's been primarily referrals and networking. Another
thing too is like partnerships. Like we instead of like we had an account with JP Morgan, we switched to a small boutique bank because they're more accessible, meaning if I need to speak to someone, they answer right away, right? I can reach management sooner. But more importantly, they work with other small businesses and they direct them to us. And so like finding like mutual partnerships and like creating as many separated funnels as possible where we provide value to somebody and in return we retain value as well. So that we're looking at, my thing on like sales or growing is that you want to have as many. There's no right answer. The right answer is do everything. If that makes sense. You know?
Trial and error.
Yeah, exactly.
What works, but then how do you know? It's an interesting question. How long do you have to see? How long do you have to try something to see if it will work? Because it could be a good one, but it might not be.
Yeah.
Or it might not be well implemented.
And it fluctuates. It might work one month and not the other month. So ideally, you're doing everything all the time.
It is interesting. What I've experienced, at least, doing music and video production, weirdly, video production I can easier scale because people see it.
Right.
It's a seeable thing. Like, they not only see the gear, but they see the results of it.
It's tangible.
And that's why being an artist is so bloody weird, because it's intangible. But that's where marketing comes in, how you market yourself and how that makes the artist, the fans feel.
Yeah.
How your personality.
Right.
I think personality, like you can't be, or it's why did it work with artists who are like anonymous or like Deadmau5 and things like that?
Well, I would think like, and this is something like even as an artist though it's different. Like when you're selling anything, and I didn't come up with this, but it's real. It's like you're not really selling a product, you're selling a feeling. So like Rolex, for example, I've seen the ads that they're not selling a watch, they're selling exclusivity. Like when you put on Rolex, you feel like you're in some elite class.
It's an idea.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's an image.
Exactly. And with music is you're selling how it makes somebody feel, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you get the feeling that your music provides to the people that are willing to pay for it?
And that's marketing. Marketing in a nutshell is really just learning how, because they're called emotional manipulators, which sounds kind of dark, but it's like, how do you trigger the right emotions in the right way to get a person to take action? For musicians, it's listen to your music. For marketing, it's buy a product or service. And that's really, at the core of it, is that's what you're doing when you're marketing something. It's like, how do I trigger the right emotions in these people to make them realize, like, I can help them out, or I can provide value to them, whether it be music that they like or a product that they need, something like that.
Right. definitely.
I was watching. Let me make sure that's still running. I always get nervous.
Yeah, no worries.
I mean, this runs forever. That's the funny thing about it. It's just okay. I might have to change the battery soon, but I was seeing this person teaching sales, and he talked about that there are 4 types of clients, and I might be paraphrasing. There's people who wants a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who's just there for a good deal. Like, is it cheap? Mm-hmm. You know, there's a person who wants, who does a lot of research and knows what they want. Other 2 I forgot. But it was an interesting. Have you heard of this?
I don't have a sales background, so I have not.
And because me and my former partner, we used to like study so much, and my uncle used to be a salesman. And after all that, Casey and I, we went on a trip, and it was a free trip because we had to attend a sales pitch for a timeshare. Oh, and honestly, I was kind of laughing under my thing because everything that I saw
was on there,
but they were using some not cool tactics, like they were trying to use the guy's kid having cancer for wanting to spend more time with family. I mean, that's kind of like a
crazy.
shit.
That's wild.
You know,
that's wild.
That I don't like. Like I know that at least for the stuff that I do, I have to do a lot of education on what it entails. What do I do with what value am I giving? You know, how I'm going to conduct the business, stuff like that. But for people who just want cheap and fast, that might not be the thing that make the sell. It might be like, it's only $100 and you get all these value.
Yeah. And you know what's great, like with us, is like, one is we don't take deals we know we can't perform. So cheap isn't even the thing. It's like, if we can't help you, we won't take it because our reputation is worth more than a few dollars to us, you know? And then in addition, like, it's not even we believe, we know, to be blunt, like, our shit works. So like when all we need to do is get in the door, and it's not a hard sell because we don't have to tell you, we can show you how well it works, you know? And all people want is an ROI. They want to make more money for what they're spending.
That is true, and that's not bad to say.
Yeah,
there's no problem.
That's business.
There's no problem on wanting to make money with what you do.
Of course.
You know.
Of course. No, and we tell them that. It's like, look, you're here because you want to make money. We're here because we want to make money. So like, let's not pretend that's not the case. This is how we can help you. This is what it's going to cost. This is what you're going to see 6 months from now. You're free to walk away at any time. Are you in or out? You know?
And that's why I don't like seeing when people take advantage of people and they don't pay for quality work.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially in marketing, there are so many downright shady marketing companies that, like, for musicians or blue-collar companies, service businesses, don't understand marketing, and these shitty marketing companies will say the right buzzwords and convince people to just spend so much money on a garbage product. I see it all the time, and so many companies that are just... And they're naive to it. Yeah, they're naive, and they get locked in and spend thousands of dollars, see no results, and then they're screwed. And I see it all the time, and it pisses me off because as somebody in the industry, I just wish there was more knowledge from the people who don't know anything about marketing. I see it all
another
the time.
thing too is it's not hard to not be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like why not just actually be good at your services and then provide value, and they'll pay you for it? You know?
Yeah, but there are so many who are.
And here's like the big thing, like, we don't, and I've said this, like, we don't do contracts. Like, that's the same with like websites. Contracts, like, we don't make you stay.
Oh, okay.
Like, marketing companies will make you sign an annual fee, or like you sign for a year, and you're locked in every month. You know. And if you want to leave, you have to pay a ridiculous sum. And if you leave, we keep your website. You know, and we don't do that, but that's what marketing companies do. With us, you can leave, you can keep your website. We won't delete your ads. You know, like, we let you walk away whenever, because we know you're probably not going to, because it works. You know, you're going to make money through us, and you're going to stay.
That's communicates confidence in what you do will work.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it is. I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, I get it. That's that's awesome.
And that's resonated a lot with clients that we've met with, is that, like, we're partners. Like, we're not gonna hold you hostage. You know, you're not gonna leave, but if you
where do people find you?
Yeah, well, that's what we're figuring out now. Like, again, it's mainly been referral. We just brought on 2 salespeople full time, and they're building out our structure right now. And one of them has sold over, like, I think $2.3 million in marketing services at a larger firm.
Wow!
But he wants to go the startup route, so he's with us now, and he's definitely gonna be very valuable to us. And, you know, like, we're really big on, like, knowing what we don't know and surrounding ourselves with people that fulfill those needs.
The ones that you don't know?
Like we know that we're not good at everything, right?
Oh,
so
I
we
see
find
what you
people
mean.
that are like complementary skill
Gotcha,
sets, which she
gotcha.
alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing now is building the right team, and finding a way to make it work. But that's the big thing is just get it like our close rate is like it's got to be close to 50-60%. Like once we get in the room, typically the clients move forward with us. It's just to get in the room it's not even hard. That's just what we're figuring out now. Yeah.
Hardest for us, but that's why we're finding people who are good at that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Ever the
No. You ready? The most basic song everybody knows. It's Wonderwall by fucking Fire
Well, it's
Song.
detuned. It's detuned. It's not tuned to original.
Oh, it's not standard tuning?
I'll tune it back for you. Yeah, it's tuned to Dadgad. I'll tune it back to you.
All right.
But I use this tuning because I got into this playing called the percussive.
Yeah, I see people on TikTok do that.
I don't understand how that works. Like what is even generating the sound? We're just pressing the strings down.
Do you do TikTok?
I used to do a lot of short form, but now I'm getting back into TikTok
People
and
love
stuff like that.
that kind of guitar. Like,
Yeah.
if you can just do that for 30 seconds and post it, you'll go viral. I promise.
For sure.
So I wrote this song for my grandma.
Right.
Now she's passed away, but
Sorry to hear
but
that.
it's called I Remember, and it's kind of like I have themes, but I also make up parts in it, so it's always a growing thing. And I studied this technique from a Nashville guitar player where I do this. I hit a string, tap it, and there I did have this other technique. It's called harmonics, harp harmonics.
Harmonics are crazy.
So
learn that, bro. Cause I'm telling you, from our perspective, it looks like you're doing this, like you're just pressing these and some. Oh, so it's tuned that way, right?
it is doing that way.
Because when I see it TikTok and people are literally just pressing these, I'm like, how is that
How
even
is that
making this
working?
drum
Yeah.
sound? You know?
Are you like flicking the strings as you tap, or are you like tapping?
I'll
them?
show you. Yeah, I'll slow it down that motion.
'Cause I'm genuinely confused on how it's even
So-
working.
Tap,
And
pull,
then
pull,
pluck.
tap, pull up, and then plug.
Oh my god.
And then you can add the hammer on.
Yeah. Okay.
and then you can hit the frets an octave up and get these. Stuff like that.
Have you ever done like the pedal layering?
Pedal layering? Yes,
That's
I used
so
to.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that content goes crazy on platforms. You know what I'm talking about, Jeremy?
Yeah, loop pedal,
Looping,
right?
yeah.
Looping,
Oh, yes,
starting from one thing and
That's
then
so cool, yeah.
keep looping.
That's
And,
some of my favorite stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Oh man, golly, I got my heart rate up.
Do you have calluses on your fingers from that?
Oh yes, I usually get a lot the more I play, but
Yeah,
sometimes I don't play for like a couple of days and then it's
Gotcha.
gone. But
Yeah.
I haven't
that
played
was
this song
crazy.
in a long time, y'all.
Yeah, I need to learn guitar, man. I can play the baritone uke a little bit.
Nice.
I can play standard tuning.
Oh, yeah.
I can play like 4 chords. That's very, very basic. I know how to strum to some country songs, and that's really it. And you can tune it without with a guitar tuner. You're crazy.
Can you play piano? I mean, I know you can,
I can,
but does
yeah.
that work, or is that like a synthesizer
Yes.
right now?
One sec, I'll fire it up for y'all.
I'd love to hear, man.
Oh.
You want me to move this table a little bit? Oh, this is sweet. They got
Yep.
the synthesizer on there, right? I don't even know if that's the right word for it.
I gotta find out how to. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording here. And I'm gonna get an instrument here. Good thing I have audio there.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite instruments. Instrument libraries. Piano.
And before we leave, would you mind if we get a picture together?
Oh heck yeah,
Like on the couch?
we'll do one. Yeah, heck yeah.
I could take one of you guys as well.
See, oh yes. Come on.
Yeah, I definitely cannot do that.
I just love watching good musicians play.
Just cook.
Yeah.
That's in the lab.
First thing you're like, duh.
Yeah, that's one of my songs.
Oh, you wrote that?
Stuff like that. But I love cinematic stuff like moving, textures. Like I love.
Berkeley School of Music.
I'm just playing some
Oh,
shit.
wow.
I love strings. I love so many things.
Yeah.
String instruments. This is a great library, by the way. You guys like cinematic stuff?
I like it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys do subscription models. so many people went into the subscription model like years ago.
Right. It's because it's guaranteed revenue for the business for longer.
But you never own it unless you buy it. But you're talking about like tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Where do I have strings, bro? Oh yeah, I have the.
When they IPO'd.
Oh, really?
Hell
yeah.
Mark, I forget his last name.
Made a lot of money off that IPO.
I've been watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I put up a patch and mess around and
right.
whatever.
I'll watch you sing a guitar.
Oh, I miss it. Sometimes I miss just sitting down and doing random crap.
Right, yeah.
That's the whole thing about music is sometimes you gotta look at it from like a kid's perspective. Like, and what I mean is have no end goal, just have
just
fun.
playing, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You forget, after too much work, you forget like the fun aspect of it.
Right, you forget it's a creative and it's creative in its essence. It's just creative.
It's an expression,
Oh, that was so freaking cool. I enjoyed having both of you.
Yeah, man, thanks for having us.
You all have any website, anything that I can put on?
OsmosisWebMarketing.com.
What is it?
OsmosisWebMarketing.com.
Osmosis?
Yeah.
Yes.
What about that website you sent? Because you sent me something, some biz.
Oh, that was my website.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
So we're merging companies right now, so technically there's two, but...
Oh,
cool.
cool.
I would do the Osmosis right now because that's kind of what we're operating under, but
definitely.
Just less confusion for people.
And then I'd love to get pictures of stuff we can put you on.
Oh, heck yeah. We'll take a quick picture.
Yeah.
We'll take a selfie.
We can take some with the phone. You know, a picture of us and I'll get a picture of you too.
Yeah, on the chairs, yeah.
Awesome.